basketball. Of course, you can read about the Bullpups getting a sweep over Augusta up online as well at midkansasonline.com. It'll be O'Hara starting up under center with Ray as there's 20 minutes up on the clock, and we are ready to go here in McPherson for this KCAC basketball tilt. Here is the tip, and it goes the way of Sterling as Spear comes down with it. He hands it off to Gardner. Gardner comes into the front court for the Warriors. Gets it off now to Spear. Spear up top to Oyatayo. Now Gardner with it, guarded by Lakin. Feeds it up inside to Oyatayo. He's going to go to the baseline and loses control of the basketball, but it's Spear right there to recover. Gardner with it, up on the near sideline. The gets it stripped from him by Martinez. Nice defensive move by Ramon Martinez as Lakin goes coast to coast, puts on the brakes, and he slips, and he's going to travel as he ran into a redwood named Josiah Ray.
And he also hit a wet spot that causes feet to kind of slip on him. Really not a turnover of his making. And the Bulldogs are, look how spread out this Sterling offense is, though. They want to get those three-point shooters a real look.
It's Givens right now with the ball. He passes it off up top to Spear. Now into the corner to Oyatayo. He goes in the paint, but backs it out to Gardner, who thinks about a three, and only get a whistle away from the basketball.
I thought Gardner traveled, but
they're going to get Ryan O'Hara with his first personal foul about 55 seconds into the ball game. And Bulldogs, by the way, as Oyatayo just drives to the basket on the near side.
Yeah, O'Hara, foul problem has really, foul trouble has been a problem for him this year. He's had several games where he's fouled out or had four.
The Bulldogs are moving right to left on the radio as Sterling will be moving left to right. That's for this half as O'Hara goes to the baseline, feeds it out in the corner to Bakura. Bakura sets, fires, and it's a three-pointer for Aaron Bakura.
Yeah, and that's always a good sign when Aaron can hit that first one. Sterling was in a zone that time, and, the Bulldogs have really struggled from three. One reason, I think, they're in the zone. But look out, they have Brandon Givens almost out by midcourt. I can't quite figure this offensive set out.
Gardner shoots a three of his own. It goes over the back of the basket, and that was the 21st three-pointer made by Bakura on the season.
Well, it's interesting. Givens is clear out here almost to midcourt with Bakura guarding, so it's almost like 4-on-4. I don't quite understand them. I'll have to ask Coach Schwarzenegger if that's something they always do or just something they're trying out tonight.
Lakin with the ball up top, beams it over to Martinez on the near side. Now up top to O'Hara. He gets it across the court to Crook, who lets it a long three-pointer, and it's good for Chris Crook. The Bulldogs up 6-2.
Who says they can't shoot threes? I mean, they've been one of the poorest teams in the conference this year, but they've come out and hit their first two.
31% on the season as a team from long range as Givens still hanging around half court. Oyatayo with the ball. Now he dumps it off to Spear. Spear tries a three. No good. Martinez pulls down the board. 17:25 to play here in the first half as Martinez going coast to coast. Goes on the baseline, dumps it off to O'Hara in the paint. O'Hara can't finish. Oyatayo comes down with the rebound. Ball loose on the floor, and it's going to go out of bounds off of Oyatayo.
And great hustle by O'Hara to force that turnover. Made a nice move to the basket, just could not finish.
It will be McPherson basketball on the far baseline. They're up 6-2 with 7:14 to play here in the first quarter.
Chris, the first home game of the year, the Bulldogs made 16 threes, and they haven't come close to a game like that the rest of the year. So they know they are capable of shooting threes, and now we've had a stoppage in play.
Well, the officials are looking to discuss something.
Two of the officials I do not recognize. The third, Cody Stuckey, we have had. He's almost like a member of the family, it seems like. Cody, the softball coach down at, I think it's Wichita Northwest now. Former McPherson High softball coach.
And it's McPherson ball as they get whatever issues they had worked out completed. And Lakin with the ball in between the circles. Gets it over on the near side to Crook. Crook dashes into the lane, gets around Givens. Count the basket for Chris Crook. That's a quick 5 for him.
What a great start to this game for the Bulldogs. That's been one of their bugaboos is slow starts, but they have come out of the gate smoking so far.
Spear up top to Gardner. Gardner now to Oyatayo. He gets off to Givens near half court. Givens guarded by Bakura. Now back over to Oyatayo. He's going to drive the baseline against Martinez. Count the basket for Oyatayo.
Oyatayo only averages 5 points a game, and he's got 4 already, so he's a guy that really doesn't look to score, but he sure has tonight.
Crook with the ball in the front court on the far sideline. Gets up top to Lakin. Now over to Bakura. Bakura thinks about a three. Instead, gets it to Lakin. Lakin pops up a long two-pointer. No good. And Ryan O'Hara tried to steal the ball away from Oyatayo as he got the rebound, but it's going to go out of bounds off of the Bulldogs.
Kyle Lakin, a wide-open look, and he's such a good free throw shooter. I was already putting down the number 21 in my book, but the shot just rimmed out.
16 minutes to play here in the first quarter. As Gardner dishes it off the Spear. Tries to get inside with it to Ryan.
Well, O'Hara, that's 2 already. And now
we're going to see Reed Rowell check into the ball game.
Yeah, O'Hara, it's just unbelievable. The guy just cannot play without fouling. He comes to the bench, he goes, what did I do? And he's probably done for the half. So Reed Rowell's going to have to play more minutes probably than he hopes.
Rowell guarding Ray. As Ray dumps it off to Spear. Spear on the far sideline, guarded closely by Crook. Gets it off to Ray. Back in the corner to Spear. Spear alone for 3. He'll get off the back of the iron. Ball is loose. Martinez pokes the ball up in the air. Gardner comes up with it, puts a floater in the lane, rattles around, and finally comes down.
Boy, I'll tell you, Bulldogs not hitting the boards there and gave up the second chance opportunity.
Lincoln into the front court, feeds it to Martinez. Martinez thinks about a 3, gets it to Rowell, and Rowell just pounds the glass.
Well, welcome back, Reed Rowell. That's what he gives. Reed is fired up tonight, too. He has just been itching to get back on the floor, and he makes such a difference in this Bulldog team. Great kid, great player.
Oyatayo loses control of the ball. Martinez, and we also have Oyatayo diving on the floor, but we get a foul away from the basketball. They called a charge against Givens.
Yeah, they called it away from the... I'm not sure what that... Brandon Givens just has not been involved in the offense. He's coming off a 29-point game, and now the Warriors go to their bench to bring in Maurice Williams, who is a very, very good player. He averages 10 points a game off the bench.
Williams in for Oyatayo. Lincoln into the front court, feeds it to Martinez up top. Now over to Bakura. Bakura over to Rowell. Now back over to Crook on the far sideline. Gets a screen from Rowell. Into paint. Dumps it off to Lincoln. Over to Bakura. And we get a foul as Bakura fires for 3.
Illegal screen. Chris Crook on the illegal screen. And Sterling, by the way, got out of that zone. I didn't think they would stay in that. I was really surprised. For one thing, it slows the tempo down. The Bulldogs milking the shot clock. This is a Sterling team that likes to really get it up and down the floor. And if you play zone on defense, that is going to run that clock down a little bit.
Spear gets a screen from Williams and drives in and gets a foul as he goes up.
And Bulldogs have come out chopping. They're hacking away here. That is already 4 fouls, and they're going to put Sterling at the line in the 1-and-1 here pretty quick if they don't refrain from fouling.
Ramon Martinez just hit with his first personal fouls. We'll see Grant Raleigh check into the ball game, as well as Lewis Parker III.
Spear only averages 5.9 points a game, and he hasn't started all season. He started tonight, though. He started 11 out of 16 games.
Lincoln and Martinez check out in favor of Parker and Raleigh. Spear, his second attempt is good.
And Sterling, oddly enough, they have got a lot of big kids on their team, but they only start really one big. That's Josiah Ray at 6'6". They basically start 4 guards or wings, so to speak. But, boy, they can bring some size off that bench.
10-8 is our score as Bakura just got his pocket pick, but Parker right there to get it up off, and he's going to get fouled as he tried to go for the layup in the lane.
Lewis Parker III gives the Bulldogs instant energy off the bench, and now he needs to make those free throws. He's been a little lukewarm at times this year at the line.
Well, the foul goes against Grant Spear, his first personal, just the second for the Warriors as Parker misses his first attempt.
Just 45% on the year, and really that's maybe one thing that keeps him from playing more because he just kind of struggles at the line. He missed those both badly.
10-8 still our score, 14-15 to play here in the first half. Williams hands it off to Spear. Spear to Givens. Givens fakes a three. Then goes into the paint, and we got a blocking violation against McPherson.
Man, the Bulldogs are they can't play defense without fouling right now, and Coach Schwarzenegger wanted to travel, and I think he had a pretty good gripe there.
Foul goes against Aaron Bakura, his first personal. As we get the inbound to Williams. And Williams on the near sideline, goes to the baseline, and has to back it out near half court to Spear. Spear to Gardner. Gardner gets fouled with an elbow.
The Bulldogs are on pace for about 25 fouls just in the first half. They've already got 6, and we have not even played 7 minutes yet. Man, they are calling her pretty tight on the perimeter.
Grant Raleigh with his first foul of the ball game. As Spear gets the inbound, puts up the over the top layup on the baseline, and it's a tie ball game 10-10.
And so far it's been guys that normally score for Sterling that are hurting the Bulldogs, Spear and Oyatayo.
Bakura rather with the ball. Feeds it off to Crook on the near side. Trying to feed it on the baseline to Parker. Parker couldn't handle the pass. Goes out of bounds. It will be a Warrior basketball.
And this is what the Bulldogs have done all year. They're falling into that trap. Again, they got off to a fantastic start to this game with 8 quick points, but only 2 in the last 4 minutes.
Raleigh to inbound it. Fires it to Rowell in between the circles. 13:30 to play here in the first half. As Rowell goes to the baseline, puts up the jump shot, and it's no good. Parker with the follow-up, gets it back to Rowell. Rowell dives for it, goes out of bounds off the Bulldogs.
And Parker had Rowell wide open, but Parker just didn't make a very good pass, and Rowell had to reach for it, and it went out of bounds. Lewis did a great job of getting the board, and then just kind of a lazy pass.
Rowell's shot tried to go over Kendall Smith. He's a 6'8 junior out of Belleville, Illinois. And a giant in there right now as Jaderston just dashes into the lane. Jake Jaderson out of Sterling, Kansas.
Son of the coach, Dean Jaderson.
And he just got 2 points, put the Warriors up 12-10. See Chris Lowe check into the ball game for the Bulldogs. It's Bakura's three-pointer off the front of the iron and no good.
10-2 run by Sterling right now, and
Givens puts up a wild shot, no good, pulled down by the Bulldogs. Crook will take it into the front court, puts on the brakes a little bit on the far sideline. Fires it over to Raleigh. Raleigh on the near sideline, pops up a three, no good off the inside of the iron. It's pulled down by Smith for the Warriors.
Bulldogs just running no offense at all right now. They have, after that great start, they're falling into their old patterns. And Maurice Williams, Coach Schwarzenegger needs a timeout because this game is starting to get away from the Bulldogs already after that fantastic start. 12-2 run for Sterling.
14-10 is our score as Chris Crook tries to drive the far baseline, and he just got fouled as he tried to go in. That foul goes against Williams. That's his first.
Bulldogs have gone over 4 minutes without a basket. They were up 10-6. I believe, actually 8-2 early when Sterling played zone. The Bulldogs came out a couple threes. Ever since Sterling went man-to-man, the Bulldogs' offense has just absolutely died on a vine.
Raleigh to inbound the ball for the Bulldogs. Feeds it to Rowell. Rowell finishes.
Good roll by Reed Rowell to the basket. Boy, they have really missed him. He gives you that inside presence, and he doesn't look like he's showing any effects of that ankle injury.
It's right now Jaderston with the ball on the... Gets it off to a new Warrior, and he gets it off to Maurice Williams, who hits a three.
And Maurice Williams is instant offense on the bench. He doesn't start, but he's averaging 10 points a game.
Chris Lowe goes flying to the basket, can't make it fall. Lewis Parker, the third, gets the rebound. It's fouled as he falls down, no whistle. A shot no good, and it's pulled down by Sterling. Jaderston with it. He's going to go into the paint, backs out. As he feeds it inside to Smith. Smith backs it back out to Williams. Williams for three. No good off the front of the iron. Smith right there for the putback.
Boy, I'll tell you, the Bulldogs are just getting eaten up on the boards right now. They're just not rebounding at all. You got to get Martinez back in. Yep, and O'Hara. Somebody got to get some help for Rowell on the boards.
Trey Dummert into the ball game for the Warriors. He's a junior out of Beloit, Kansas. Rowell with the ball, 10 seconds on the shot clock for McPherson. Raleigh with it now. He's going to go into the paint, puts on the brakes, out to Rowell. Rowell for three. No good off the front of the iron, pulled down by Smith for Sterling. It's Dummert for three. No good off the iron. Raleigh tries to track down the inbound as we get a collision from Rowell, Parker, and Dummert. But it's the Bulldogs to come up with it as Lowe comes into the front court for McPherson.
Yeah, Rowell's going to have to come out. His conditioning's just not quite there yet. And he's already, you can see he needs a blow. This is a very fast pace.
Parker with it now over into the far sideline to Bakura. Bakura thinks about a three. Instead feeds it up top to Rowell. Back over to Bakura. Bakura going to go into traffic. The floater is good.
I'll tell you, it's the thing for the Bulldogs, though, it is just so hard for them to score. They have to work so hard to get baskets, and for Sterling, they seem to come pretty easy.
Givens dishes the ball out to Jaderson. Now up top to Dummert. Dummert gets his pocket picked by Lowe. Lowe on the breakaway. Finishes at the rim.
Great job, Chris Lowe, giving that Bulldog some defensive quickness. Mack back within three. Sterling's going to come in with almost a whole new lineup, it looks like. Very deep team.
It is 19-16. The Warriors lead the Bulldogs. Under 10 to play here in the first half. Givens with the ball into the paint. Collides with Lewis Parker III. And Parker, to say that he was moving his feet, was not quite set.
Brandon Givens totally out of control and gets bailed out by a very questionable call there. Sterling coming with a bunch of guys. Matt coming with a bunch of guys. We're going to have to set the lineups because we've got a bunch of new guys. Givens at the line. If he's like he was in high school, he hardly ever missed when he was at Beeler High School at the line, and he is almost 80% at the line this season.
Raleigh's still in there for McPherson as we see Ramon Martinez check into the ballgame. He'll replace Lewis Parker III, but Chris Crook back in. Also have Chris Lowe, Ryan O'Hara, as well as Grant Raleigh. That's the 5 for McPherson. Oyatoya back in for Sterling. Also have new big man and Phineas Starks.
Phineas is a load, 6'7", 6'6", 270 pounds. Givens knocks the first one down, and just Bulldogs have got to get some offensive execution, though. They are really struggling to get easy shots. It just seems like Sterling, though, has no trouble getting easy shots.
Givens' second attempt is on the way. It's off the front of the iron, pulled down by Crook. Spear and Jaderson also on the floor now for the Warriors. As Raleigh floats the ball to Crook on the far sideline. Crook with the ball now into the paint. Puts up the shot over Starks. Count the basket. Send Chris Crook to the line for the and one.
He's the one guy that can get his shot anytime he wants it. A very creative player. Crook now with 7 in the game for the Bulldogs.
Chris Crook is one of the best foul shooters right now in the nation. He's 22nd in the free throw percentage with his 86.4%.
And I was actually wrong on Givens. I looked at the wrong guy. Givens is shooting 86%, so we've got two of the best free throw shooters in the country on display tonight.
And Crooks makes the and one.
Bulldogs now just down one, just when it looked like the game was starting to get away. And Chris Lowe, another great defensive play, almost came up with the steal.
It's still going to remain Sterling basketball, though, on the far sideline. As Crook, again, 22nd in the nation with an 86.4%. And Givens at 8. Givens not listed in the individual records as Chris Crook gets fouled again as he tried to go to the basket.
And a steal by Crook. The Bulldogs we haven't seen this trap very often, and Sterling coach Dean Jaderson calling timeout because apparently it was not on the scout